Hello and welcome to your tutorial on the 3 written pieces you need to complete for week number 2. It is the Theorist reflection, your first one, your career development plan, and your career development plan interpersonal skills. As I said in the previous document that I posted, that it feels like there's a lot of work for week 2. Please don't let that get you down, because a lot of the work you're doing will set you up for later weeks. Okay. So just a couple tips. The directions are pretty straightforward for these written pieces. You have some articles to read that's going to set you up and reflect on the information from the articles. For the Theorist reflection, there's some information here that you need to describe for the career development plan, career narrative, and there's an article here that's going to again set you up for the written part of the document. Basic items like, if I ask for 300 words, make sure it's at least 300 words. I don't want fluff, which is just added information that doesn't help your argument, but there's some minimums you need to take care of. If it says a full page, it should be a page going on to a second page, and at least 1 page of length here. That's a bare minimum. That's, just looking for full credit. That has to be done again, but don't just fill it with fluff. That will actually take away from your grade. So if you look for the Theorist reflection, a suggestion I would do is copy and paste this information and put it into a doc or a Word document, and just to help break down what you're doing. So what I did was just, for the Theorist reflection, copied and pasted it, got rid of some of the other directions, and just left the questions here. What that allows me to do is to, below each question, go through and then type in the answers to all the questions. I go through and I type in all my answer, and I can just make sure that all parts of the answer, of the question rather, is answered. I go through and I type it all in. Of course, you will use real answers, not just gibberish here. And then what I do is I erase the question. That should not be part of your answer. I erase the questions, get rid of the questions, and then I'm left with my answers, and I can format that into a paragraph, which is what it's looking for. And I've got just the answers left, and that way I make sure that I answered all parts of the question. I'm not missing anything, which is going to leave you to make sure you get a grade you deserve. You check, make sure it's at least 300 words. If not, you could add some information, make them a little more thorough, more detailed. But that's what I would do, is put those questions in there, make sure each question is answered, and just get rid of them. These should not be left in. That is not part of your 300 words, so make sure you get rid of the question. Leave your answer, format it correctly, and you should have a pretty solid answer. For the Theorist reflections, at the end of the session, you will have to copy and paste the 3 that you will do throughout the course and put it into one final submission for the school. The final submission will have to have the corrections made to it. So when you turn this in, I will make comments on this, and the final reflection piece will have the 3 Theorist reflections with the corrections. The corrections should be made and bolded. So if I say, okay, well, what about this, or you're missing that, you will add that in, and they should be bolded. So hang on to these documents. So again, as I said, you're putting work in that'll pay off at the end of the session. So when you turn these in, I'll make comments on them. You make those corrections, bold those corrections so they stand out, and then I'll see those in your final submission. So for the career development plan, I would do the same thing. I've copied and pasted everything. This one here is looking for 3 separate paragraphs. So as it says here, at least you're looking for, for each of the knowledges, which is skills, professionalism, working your way down, education, and networking. You've got 3 of them there. You're writing a 100-word paragraph for each of those 3. So if each of the 3 has questions, I would just break down those questions, just break them down, answer each question, then get rid of the actual question, leave just the answer, and you'll have 3 separate paragraphs, and all parts of the question will be answered. Same for the interpersonal skills. You have to read an article. If you've got several questions that need to be answered, just break them down, and then after each question, type in your answer, and then you could erase the questions and just leave the answer, format it, and you should have a pretty solid answer. Okay? If you have any questions, as always, please email me. Thank you very much.